This is the beginning of my battle report here, the Whitefires versus the Dragon Ignis. This is also about deployment as well. 1-on-1, introduction and deployment. Basically here, so the Whitefires with Heaven have orbitally bombarded and bombarded from the ground on the section of the fortress which the Shadow Flames were earlier hitting at, planning to invade. He managed to break an opening, and now they're going to try to charge through and take the opening. There's two objectives, they're both represented by Canadian 25-cent coins. We at the beginning thought we were going to go for both of these objectives, but near midways I thought it was very unfair. So the beginning of midways, so I decided to make it, at that midway point, so that only one of them had to be destroyed. So that was the basic goal. I played as the Dragon Ignis. My friend played as my Whitefires of Heaven. So we played each other's forces for once, kind of offset things, made things interesting. Very interesting game. We used the crush resistance game type scenario, and it was a very interesting game. So I'll like to get to the game here. Basically, he started with this 500 core force, and I just had to begin spawning 80 resource points at each post, and basically began to deploy my army. Well, let's see what happens though with the first turn here. On here will begin moving up, basically. It's just a deployment and movement, really. Nothing important really happened yet this turn. We just began getting our guys to positions. My sniper's objective was try to pin his snipers and keep them from picking off my militia. As I began pouring militia, my plan just to hold ground and slowly advance and just push him back and keep hold of the gap, don't allow him to get close to the objective, basically, because he had to get inside the base to those back two boxes to be able to actually to attack the objective. So that was my main goal, and later on we'll see how that turns out. This is where the action starts up here in turn 2. The snipers basically go at it. The Dragon Ignis snipers take a beating by the Whitefires snipers. I do manage to take out one Whitefire sniper though before I lose about 3 guys. Besides that, I've called in more support. I've called in 2 MK3 laser drones. Sorry, not laser drone. I can't. Crab walkers, that's the name. To help take care of the Inu Alpha Wallwalker right there that's coming up. With the 4+ against armor, I think they stand a decent chance against them, and 3+ armor. They're pretty good units against vehicles. The militias, in the militia, you'll see in this video, take an absolutely heavy hitting by the Alpha Wallwalker, which is basically the Silver Fox one, so it's probably one of the best vehicles you can get against infantry. But let's see how the game goes. taking terrible rolls basically for cover saves. Like I did absolutely terrible here. But I just called in more snipers, a squad of 3 militia humans for support guns to try to help take care of the Legios when they came close, because they were getting pretty close. Basically, just calling in more reinforcements, trying to weather the storm, build up a force, just making it impossible for them to get through. But the Whitefires has some tricks pulled up their sleeves. My friend has some pretty good strategies. We'll see how it goes, though. Well, the last turn didn't go so well, but they're still slowly creeping up the Whitefires. So I called in more militia. I've got my heavy Inu Walker there with a fair amount of militia backing them up. I've put my MK crabs ready to ambush the Inu Walker when it gets into range. The militia infantry on the front line have taken a massive toll, as you'll see in this game, and right now things aren't looking too good for the Dragon Ignis, but they still have the building. The Whitefires haven't got the majority of the force close enough to do anything yet, and things aren't looking good for the Whitefires actually right now. The Dragon Ignis look like they'll probably win the day. Whitefires begin their total advance here. Basically, this is, I think this is the final turn or second final turn. Basically, my friend moved his Legios up to the flank, and I'm preparing just to fight them when he pulls some surprising maneuvers, actually, and does something I completely didn't expect him to do. But, which is a very interesting tactic, but went very well for him. But overall, this was a very interesting point, and I think the turning point in the battle. So I will let the video explain itself. This here's the last turn here. Basically, the Whitefires moved up, and the Legios are moving in to attack one of the objectives. I'm moving the Dragon Ignis as swiftly as possible to try to intercept them, get in close combat, and do something with fire on them to stop the Legios from getting to the objective, because they completely pulled a surprise move on me. I didn't actually expect them to go up onto that ramp that quickly. So we'll see what happens though. The Whitefires of Heaven managed to win. I blame as a Dragon Ignis. I couldn't get my forces up there in time to stop the Legions from destroying the one objective, which we decided about, I think it was 1 or 2 turns earlier, that Lawrence destroyed one objective. He won the game because I personally felt it was kind of unfair how I set up the game board and such, and had to get into that narrow gap and get the way into there. But no, I've talked and get with the maker of the game. Yeah, so it is supposed to be fair. But yeah, so next time we'll do it so it's a bit more spread out, a bit better. But anyhow, so the Whitefires won here, and basically that's all to say. They the last pictures here are just set up with just units we had left, just to represent Whitefires taking the gap.